Hi, Steve.
Hey, John.
Hi, letting people in. Busy doing your homework, huh?
Right.
Uh,
I had my headset on and then it just cut off.
oh,
Uh, how you
well,
doing?
good. I miss you. I'm glad we can see each other this way anyway.
Yeah, miss you too. How things going?
Well, were you on the call yesterday when I talked about one of the nice things that happened is I was appointed as a visiting scholar at George Washington, and I'm going to be teaching courses on, I'm teaching one course this fall on punishment and reentry in the criminal justice system.
You're doing re-entry into the criminal justice system. That's great.
So, anyway.
So something you have experienced.
Yeah, something I've experienced and something I'm interested in, and it gives me a chance to get back to the university. I understand it's a good school, so that's going to be fun.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was under contract to them a little while ago. I'm gonna carry this down to my office.
Okay. If you're busy, I don't have to talk right now.
No, it's okay.
Oh, would it be quieter? Oh, should I just do it in the little room?
You do it. They're up, right? You do it in the little room. I'll go down. Yeah, I had a contract to mediate allegations of anti-Semitism
Mm,
between all within the student leadership at the law school,
wow.
and then got contracted to mediate between what do they call it, Lambda, the LGBTQ community,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and the Federalist Society.
Wow. Those are demanding jobs.
It was challenging. I mean, it created a little bit of progress, but there was a lot of chaos.
Yeah. There's a lot of ingrown prejudice, I guess is the right word,
Well, and it's all
between all
post.
different kinds of groups.
So, is the curriculum already developed for you, or do you have to develop it?
Well, I have there's a lovely woman I've been working with on this group of Rethink Justice, that's the advocacy group that I've been working with. Anyway, yes, another professor at George Washington who taught it last year, shared her syllabus with me, and um, but the difference now is that it's all, of course, online, so I have to switch it all over to online, and the field has moved a lot further than last year. There's two new books that cover a lot of the material, and anyway, so yes, I'm happy to develop a hybrid course and a new course for me. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I guess it keeps the mind nimble.
And this is all undergraduate.
Yes, it's the seniors, juniors, and seniors.
It's as an elective. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I understand it's one of the two or three that they have to choose. Some mandatory courses they get some choices, and this is one of them. They can take either um, criminal justice or this course.
Well, if we could solve the reentry issue, we'd go a long way as a society.
Oh my God.
I
Well,
mean, but we have to fix the incarceration.
well, we
So,
have to fix the diversion piece. So we don't want people going to jail. We want people, you know, there's a terrible statistic. We're building one new prison every week still.
is that right?
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
And that includes detention centers, I take it.
Yes, and that includes state facilities as well as federal.
Yeah.
Um, and then one of the huge, terrible issues is private prisons. Uh, Even the Federal Bureau of Prisons decided that they're so horrible they don't want them, and they outlawed them. So guess what? The Immigration Service picked them up, and that's where they're putting the immigrants. So anyway, it's a terrible system, and we're wasting, by some estimates, $800 billion a year in this area. So,
Something tells me that's low compared to the waste of human capital as well that could be developed. I don't mean to say it so coldly about human life, but just, how people could be so much more productive if they're taken care of and nurtured and rehabilitated and transformed and,
sure, no, you're absolutely right. The 800 million is just the salaries for the people who, the officers and so on like that.
direct cost.
Direct costs, and it doesn't even count, of course, the construction costs, capital costs.
Yeah.
And the average prison is running somewhere between something like 300 million to 800 million now. So,
From turnkey to build.
yeah.
The profit margins and just the raping of our, it's all, and it's right now, it's all cronyism.
Well, it's like Eisenhower would, if he were around, would call it I guess, call it the prison industrial complex.
Yeah.
It really is.
And
Towns like,
it's not all Trump. I mean, because this has been a momentum that's been developing for years.
oh yeah, no, in the last, I actually should have it in my head, but I think it's the last 30 years, we've gone up tenfold in the number of prisoners. So, although it's starting to drop again now because of the pandemic, they have released what they estimated 10% of the federal people and 40% of the state people have been let out.
So, I'm on the board of the Conflict Resolution Center for Montgomery County, and one of the projects I really like is a release program where we work with inmates and their families to just come up with some coherence around how they reenter.
Oh, wonderful.
So the families are buying in, and if you wanted, I mean, I'd ask if you ever wanted our executive director to be a guest for you.
I'd like to be in touch, and I'm trying to put all those kind of materials together. Thank you.
Yeah.
And did you ever meet Chuck Feinberg, who's what used to be the rabbi at Adas Israel? Anyway, he's on.
I see a lot of emails from him across my. But what is he doing now?
Well, he has a group. It's something like the Interfaith Alliance for Justice or something.
Uh-huh.
And he his big thing is solitary confinement issues, and so he's going to help me on that one. And there's so much stuff I've been doing with Rethink Justice on reentry issues, and I'm happy to talk to you and the other fellow about that. There's so many wonderful programs that are happening here in DC with the Attorney General and other things to try to address some of those issues.
The DC Attorney General.
Yeah, Carl Racine.
A good guy.
He's wonderful. He's wonderful. I wanted to try to work for him. I couldn't find a suitable position, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
But he spoke to our group, the Rethink Justice. With about 20 of us, got to meet with him for an hour, and he is just so brilliant. He's what we need really as a progressive mayor in the city.
Hold on a second. Too many devices here. Hello.
I can't find the link anywhere.
I'll send it to you. Bye.
In an email?
I'll send it to you in an email.
Mr. Administrator here.
Hey, Paul.
And you're welcome.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Steve, are you going to make me a co-host or allow me to share my screen, please?
Can I let me send Jody the link. Somehow she doesn't have the link. Then I'll make you a co-host. Where is it?
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Steve, just so you know, I have the Google Doc open and I'm using that as the run of show and all that, run of the program. So
Okay. How are you, Paul?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
You guys are busy. It's Mindy's birthday today, so I'm like,
Oh, wish her happy.
I'm throwing a party right after this.
What are you gonna do?
We're just having a brunch lunch thing.
A Jewish lunch? Smoked salmon, all that,
No, just
or whatever.
Hi, Kate.
frittata, vegetarian frittata.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Hey, Vanessa.
So what do I want to do to make you an
I'm
owner?
Vanessa. Hi.
Hi, Kate.
Is that Kate?
What do I
That's
need?
Vanessa.
Share
Huh?
share screen or
You click on share screen and then it should allow you to allow other people to do that.
participants can share simultaneously. Why don't I do-
Yes. Yeah, click that.
Okay, now do you see that you can share?
Well, let me practice it. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Let me get my thing up. I'm going to see if I can practice it. Tree of life. Tree of life. Tree of life. All right, let's see if this works. There we go.
Yes, it's working.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yeah, we use that in my yoga class, that picture.
perfect. Hey, Jody.
You're on mute.
Hello.
So, Jody, you can start the Mo.ani whenever you're ready.
See what her melody of the day is. I'm just gonna wait 1 second.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well.
So is this the Macomb, or is this in addition to or separate from the Macomb that's been scheduled every Sunday?
This is Macomb every Sunday. Yeah. You are on the right flight.
Do we have any of the prayers in an email? So I always find that a useful way to follow some of
To
the.
get the chance.
I can send that to you now. I was going to do it as a chat in the chat. Does the chat work?
I can't see it.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah,
Try.
the chat is,
I can
it's
see
open.
chat, but there's nothing here yet. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up in the chat. Will the chat work for you, John?
Yes, it's just yeah. I think it will.
Prefer email? I can email it to you if you want.
No, the trouble with the chat is sometimes you have to move everybody over to the side, but that's okay. I can do that. Yeah, you have to
We're movable.
you have to minimize all these all these eager faces.
All right, let's see.
Welcome, Alexis. Hi, Sherry. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Meryl. Boker Tov.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start with a Mo.ani. I'm going to just get it going. So
Yep.
just join with us in a chant, and Jody can relax and We're just going to open with Moda Ani Lefanecha Ruach Hai Vikayom Moda Ani Lefanecha Ruach Hai Vikayom Moda Ani. Meg, can you do me a favor, close it? Moda Ani Lefanecha Ruach Hai Vikayom 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 Moda Ani Lefanecha Ruach Hai Vikayom. Just close your eyes and take a soft breath. Be present, land here. You've arrived at the right place. This is Makom at Home. Sunday morning chant and meditation. Oh, Mindy, you're not in the camera. This is Mindy's here with me. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Mindy. 57th birthday.
Happy birthday, Mindy.
Thank you.
So welcome, everyone. This is the first of a series that Jody Shapiro, Steve Shapiro, and I will be offering starting today and going all the way until September 14th. It's a 9-part journey. And Jody and I wanted to introduce this to you. And the way we're going to start, we're going to get on around 5 of each week. And the three of us are going to be in Moda Ani. So as you arrive, we'll be doing a Moda Ani. And you can join us in a Moda Ani as we enter sacred space of this chant journey that we're on, this journey. I wear my yarmulke and my talis because I move into sacred space when I'm, adorned with these accoutrements. And I'm going to light a candle just to, if I can do it without burning myself. It's a joy and laughter candle. And it's a way for me to also create this as sacred space because we're in a sacred community together each week and right now. So a sacred community of souls that are joining together on a journey. And Jody and Steve and I worked really hard to like figure this out, at least what our intention is as of now. We're going to be evolving and creating it as we go forward, but it's a journey of teshuvah and transformation. The idea is that it's not a journey to teshuvah and transformation. Originally, we were thinking we're on a journey to Rosh Hashanah and then the high holidays and all that. And we were like, it's a journey to that. And then we changed it. It's really a journey of teshuvah and transformation, a journey of transformation, which is ever present, every moment, every day. So that's our intention. We're going to be going through the month of Av, through the destruction of the temple. And we're then going to head into Elul during that time. Our intention is to share the Sfirot, the tree of life, and I'm going to show a little diagram of that in a second, to support cultivating aspects of the Sfirot as we embody it in our body. This is not an intellectual inquiry into Sfirot. This is an experiential inquiry into how we experience the Sfirot in our body and in our soul kind of feel. That's the intention here. And we're cultivating ourselves for transformation and self-actualization during this epic time in our lives and in our history of our country and the world. We're, in whatever way works for people, we're living into being spiritual activists and always cultivating ourselves to be our greatest selves. And we're honoring the journey of liberation, revelation, and transformation that is happening in every moment. And so I'm just going to share my screen for a second here and show you the tree of life. Min, if you want to say it. So there are thousands of books, thousands of images. Go on Google. You can study it intellectually. And what I'm wanting to offer with this diagram is that we're in this meditative state. We're in a yogic state, a state of a presence and awareness. And we're going to start at the bottom of the tree of life. We're going to go from Malchut to Yesod. I forget if we're doing Netzach or Hod, then Tiferet, then Hod, Hesed, and Gevurah. And then we're going to do the upper level Sfirot. So I encourage you to study and read about the Sfirot on your own time during this journey. And again, today's session is focused on Malchut. So the chanting and the meditation is going to focus on experiencing that energy zone of that part of our bodies. Okay, so now the first chant that we're gonna do, any questions, if we all see your names there, and if you feel free to communicate with Jody, Steve and I in the chat. But we do have we're gonna go right into our first practice. This is we have an hour long. We're gonna start on time and we're gonna end on time. So 10 a.m. to 11. So we're pretty gonna be sticking to that. We invite you to actually I would say, I would go as far as to say, we encourage you to come each week. It's not required that you come for every session. So don't feel bad if you miss one. Each session is independently whole and the series as a whole. So I just want to invite you so if you have other people that want to join next week or the week after, that's fine. Or if you have to miss a week, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all perfect. There is a question. Yes, I'll provide names of books. Thank you. All right, I'm really excited to get into our first practice. And I'm going to put it up in the chat. John, I did send it to you at your request. If people want to get the practices in advance, we're happy to do that. Just let us know. The first, this chant is called Energy Field Recharge. It's a Rabbi Shefa Gold chant. And for me, it's a foundational chant. in terms of my practice. I learned this like 20 years ago, and it is really like a powerful chant in terms of being aware of my energy field. And I'm going to teach the chant. We're going to go through it a little bit word by word, and then we'll do the practice. And keep that image of the body and Sphirot in your mind, because I'm going to relate to that. So this is a chant that I do when I'm like wanting to strengthen my energy field around me. If I'm going into a courageous conversation or a difficult environment, if I'm going to visit my family of origin, if, you know, Mindy and I are having to have a discussion with one of our kids over something, I'll do this practice as a way of being my highest self in that moment. And it starts with the word Elohim. And it's like, Elohim is like, you can access Elohim energy, or I practice accessing Elohim energy at the chakra or the sphera above my head, about a foot above my head. So I pull energy from that place. You know, it's like a portal. Now this is where you use your imagination. I'm using my imagination to pretend that there's a portal about a foot above my head, and Elohim energy channels down to me from there. So the chant starts, you start in your heart space and you're going, Elohim. And when I'm doing that, I'm starting in my heart, inside my heart space, like in the center there, and I'm going up to that spot, that imaginary spot, a foot above my head. And then I'm chanting Elohim during that whole thing. Elohim. And then at the top of that point, you know, the second word is Yechanenu, and I take a clockwise imaginary kind of, and I create a shell around me, and I'd go all the way to my feet with that imaginary egg, you know, and I'm surrounding myself with that, but it's drawing from the Elohim energy. So it's Yechanenu, and then I draw energy up from the center of the earth. Now, Elohim energy you can take from the, you know, the farthest stretches of the universe into that portal above your head. And so for the next one, it's like drawing up from the center, the core, that molten lava, whatever it is down there, hot energy source, and drawing it up through the crust of the earth, like into the land above where my feet are, or right to where my tush is sitting. And in the perineum, I bring it up through there. That's the Malchut spot, is the perineum there. It's the foundation, it's the base, it's the root, it's the source. It's it's our sovereign zone, Malchut. And so the next word, Vivarchenu, is like the movement of energy from Malchut back into your heart zone, okay? So it's Elohim Yechanenu Vivarchenu. So I brought that energy up into my heart from that Malchut. And then it's like a pumping station. Ya'er panavitanu, like the energy flows and fills the egg with love, compassion, the source of all, you know, the unity of love, the love force, I call it. So you're just pumping a love field around you. And then the last word is Selah. And you're sealing it in. You seal that energy in the egg around you. And then you're like, then I can walk into any meeting or any encounter with another human. Humans are the most challenging for me. just as part of my practice, I'm sharing my practice. I also do this practice, and I will do this while we do it now. I will do the same thing for my inner child, little Paul. I'll create an egg around him and protect him. And then I'll do another iteration of the chant, and I'll, do the egg around my family, and then I'll do it around the world. So I'll go through all those levels, in my EFR. So I'm energy field recharging, me, my inner self, my family, my core, all of you. I'm going to bring all of you into my heart for this 9 weeks. And, you will be part of my energy field recharge process this morning, journey. So let's just do it. I'm going to experiment here. Since Jody and I can't chant at the same time because of the way Zoom works, I'm going to start off, and it's like this kind of miracle that Rabbi Shefa Gold agreed to join us and join me for the beginning of it, and then we'll just keep it going. So we're going to just do the practice. We'll do it for several minutes, and it's good to use the physical. You can use your hands. It's good to be in motion if you want. Vivarcheinu Ya'er Panav Itanu Salam Elohim Yechaneinu Vivarcheinu Ya'er Panav Itanu Salam Elohim Yechaneinu Vivarcheinu Ya'er Panav Itanu Selam Elohim Yechaneinu Vivarcheinu Ya'er Panav Itanu Selah. I want to invite everyone to offer this version, this next iteration, to all of us, since we're in this Malchut journey together today. Elohim Yechaneinu Vivarcheinu Ya'er Panav Itanu Selam. Take a deep breath in and just breathe into your heart and feel that source of love and that field of love that we are creating around each of us and around our community on this Shuva journey. And There's some folks that say there's an auric field that we each have that's around 10 feet around us. So if you can imagine that you have your auric field is available, exists as an energy field. I don't think we have evidence of this, but it's an imagination that we have an energy field around us. So let's breathe into that source within us and be aware of our 10-foot auric fields that each of us has. Fill that with love. So I just want to remind everyone that this is a practice. I've been doing this chant for like 20 years. So it's like something to practice and experiment with and make it your own and figure out like how it can work for you and support you on your journey of self-actualization. We sent the link in the chat, and I can make the link available following the practice as well. So Malchut is this kind of limitless source of love. If you tap into it, it has no boundaries, and it can always. It doesn't run out of. The love force never runs out of energy, so we can always tap into it. Our next chant, I think I'm doing okay on time, is again to build our capabilities for strengthening ourselves and being our highest selves in the face of circumstances. So we're cultivating that state. And this chant is called My Protection. It's a chant by Rabbi Shefa. It says, my protection is all about the God field. That's what saves the upright heart. So like, our heart's always there, but just like I'm sitting tall, or we're inviting you to sit tall in meditation and chant. And when we sit tall, when we're being our highest selves in many ways, there's something that happens inside of us where our heart is upright. And then so that's an aspect of our heart that we want to cultivate. So Jody's going to lead us in this chant.
Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisrael, Mashiach Yisrael, Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisrael, Moshiach Yisrael, Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisrael, Moshiach Yisrael, Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisrael, Moshiach Yisrael, Magini al Elohim. Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. One more time. Magini al Elohim. Magini al Elohim. Moshiach Yisrael. Moshiach Yisrael. And now we'll just bring that into our hearts and let that medicine of that chant heal us and bring it into us.
So just continue with your eyes closed and feel your breath. Feel your breath in your belly. Full inhalations, full exhalations. Feel the breath tingling in the belly, activating nerve fibers in our belly, healing the nerve fibers in our belly. And just observe your breath. Being the observer is key to our practice. If you find yourself being distracted, just bring yourself back to your breath. And as we learn about Malchut from this experiential place, our foundation, we find shelter in this place. We find shelter in our own bodies. We find strength. And we find creativity. And just continue this deep breathing. And just feel incredibly strengthened by this Malchut, this foundation. And as we're breathing, we find ourselves interconnected to each one of us here, to each of our families, and we bring them into the shelter. We bring them into our protection. And we just find our light. We find the light inside our belly. We include our ancestors into this shelter, into this field of love and strength and creativity. And we hold all of our ancestors in a space of healing. Where the healing energy of the light in our belly holds the possibility of healing ancestral traumas, family traumas, personal traumas. And as we stay present and observe, we allow this light to just provide any healing that's needed. We stay in our bodies. We stay connected to the ground. As we stay guarding and lifting up our ancestors as they guard and lift us up, we welcome all righteous souls into our field, and we hold tight with them as they hold tight with us, strengthening this field, strengthening this aura. And just breathe in the belly, deep belly breathing. And bring this light that we're feeling in our bellies, and let's just bring it into our heart center. So we move from Malchut into Tiferet. And Tiferet fills our heart with light and frequencies that just radiate inward. Our inner guidance system, sharpening, tuning. And we bring the light up to about a foot above our crown of our head, above our Keter, Sefirot, Sahasrara chakra. And we just allow that light energy to spiral clockwise down our central nervous system, down our spine, to below our feet into the earth. And just deep breathing. Now allow that energy to rise back up, coming up through our belly and back into our heart. In terms of our experience of the Sefirot, I just want to honor Bina. Bina is known as a side of God, the daughter of Bina. One of the most sublime Sefirot, manifesting compassion and understanding. Bina is the womb of the Divine Mother. It's receiving the seed. And she conceives the 7 lower Sefirot. So let's just stay in our hearts. Let's stay in our Tiferet center, our heart center. And if you want, let's use the mantra Rabono Shel Alom. Rabono Shel Alom. I am Master of the Universe. Capital I, capital am, the Master of the Universe. And just stay in your heart center, stay in your Tiferet. And we'll come out of this silence in about 5 minutes with Paul leading us back into the opening chant.
Vivarenu Yair Panavitanu Selam Elohim Yehaneinu Vivarenu Yair Panavitanu Selam Elohim Yehaneinu Vivarenu Yair Panavitanu Selam. Elohim Yehaneinu Vivarheinu Yair Panav Itanu Selam. So as we cultivate our connection with Malchut and the other Sfirot, Steve introduced Tiferet and Bina today, which we're going to be journeying towards deeper and further exploration of all these Sfirot. And so for these last 10 minutes or so, we wanted to just open it up for people to be able to share any of their experiences from these practices today. That's really the goal of these 10 minutes. What happened for you? What experience? How did it feel for you? Or what was your experience? And then we'll wrap up the last few minutes with the Maginim chant that Jody will lead. So open, Marla, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you to all three of you for your offering and your teaching and your dedication. I would say for me, the sweetest moments were right after the chant and being able to really linger in the silence. And I don't know if other people felt that or not, but I really appreciated that. And I just kind of wanted to put that out to you guys if other people would appreciate that. It's like the chant just keeps resonating, and there's so much there.
Thanks, Marla, for making that point. We totally agree. And Shefa actually teaches about the chant technology, I call it, as a spiritual technology, having at least 3 phases. The first phase being setting the intention, and the kavanah for the chant. And also, as Jody implied, and we'll talk more about this next week, that each of the chants offer some medicine. There's a particular opportunity that each chant offers to each person because everyone's in their own journey. And then you do the chant and you're like basically getting out of your left brain, you're going into your right brain, experiential brain, and you're, and also I believe, like even with Zoom, we're creating an energy field between us. So there's energy of the chant group, this community, and then the silence after the chant, actually, as you noted, is the most important part of the journey. And it's that energy we all move together, and that healing opportunity of that chant in that moment, that can work its way through you, or have its, do what it does. So yeah, it is a sacred, critical part. And I thought we tried to build that in pretty much, but we can do more.
Yeah, well, you did. I loved it. And for me, I would enjoy more. I don't know if that works, but I really enjoyed that opportunity. That was really what I wanted to highlight.
Thank you so much. Any other sharing that people want to, Anna L?
Thank you for a beautiful way to start the morning. And I loved your pictures. Happy birthday, Mindy. I definitely felt everything that the intentions were today. And I'm doing another little meditative practice, and it's actually helped me. This is not any following a pattern. I'm just kind of like knitting without a goal, but it's to feel the energy of the colors. And when we sunk into Tiferet and Bina, I felt that the energy of everything was going from my heart to my hands. So that's my new practice for the next month or so. So it all builds on each other. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for highlighting color, because I think each Sefirot actually do have a color orientation, but every person can experience that differently. I can't remember what the color of Malchut is, but I think it's like an orange, like a source energy, anyway. That's how I experienced it during the chant, like with a deep orange. So but it's good to also, tune into that while we're in these practices.
I'd like to thank Steve for the meditation. I was able to get really deep, and maybe the chanting at the beginning was a good preparation for going very deep into the meditation. The other thing is I would love to read more about these Sefirot before. So when you talk about Bina, I know what that means, because I really don't. If you could even recommend an article or two or something that you could send out, that would give a little bit more preparation for us.
We could try to do that. I'll tell you what my preparation was for today was when in 2016, when Adat went to Israel, it was coincided with a rewriting of the Zohar. There hadn't been a rewriting for like 25 years, and a gentleman by the name of Daniel Matt, who was, I believe, a professor at Berkeley, spent like 25 years rewriting the Zohar. So I have the Zohar on my Kindle, and you're able to search. So I searched Malchut, I searched, because Shefa in the energy field chant references Bina and Tiferet as connecting to Malchut. So going from foundation to Bina, which is, depending on how you look at it, looks like the left side of the human body, and then Tiferet in the heart. So the energy is flowing from foundation to heart to Bina. And I just searched Bina in Daniel Matt's Zohar and came up with these wonderful little tales and stories, and and it helped me, because I've struggled for years trying to kind of like connect the Zohar to my life, and it has seemed very, they say you can't get it till you're 40. Well, I'm 64 and I still haven't fucking gotten it, but this has helped.
Yeah, so thanks, Steve. Can you email me that link, and we'll send out some resources. I did put up in the chat, God is a Verb by Rabbi David Cooper, who passed away last week, and that's my kind of first recommended books about.
Art Green too, probably.
Yeah, so there's an endless array of books, but anyway. So Jody and Steve and I, when we met, we each have our own 20 sources. So there's no one place to go. It's an exploration journey. So
I had a couple of comments, Paul and Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jody. First of all, there's a whole body of literature that we used. Actually, was at the out of Israel. We did a yoga class using over 5 or 6 weeks that again used that diagram, and we had a lot of yoga positions that were related to that. So there's a whole nice set of literature on that that I hope we could dig out. But I want to say that I've done a lot of meditation and pranayama and so on, and it really is so helpful today to sort of use these hand motions to help internalize this stuff. I mean, I've never done that before, and that really helped a lot. So maybe it's part of the yoga practice of trying to get these spiritual pieces in. But that was very helpful as well. Thank you.
Phil was practicing that as you went.
Yeah, so yeah, Rabbi Shefa teaches that but hand motions and a lot of her chants have standing up and movement aspects of it, which are part to embody the intention and the energy, because we're energy workers in a way. So thank you for that feedback. Any last comments or questions? Or
I just want to add that I feel honored and blessed that we're together. I love how Paul framed it, that we are holding each other, we're connecting with one another at this time, and it's really sweet. It's really sweet to be able to share the journey together and to just connect in this way. It's not the words, it is our energy fields, but when we look at each other and we hold each other in that space, it's just really a beautiful experience, and I feel like it's going to build as we make our ways to the high holidays.
Okay, Jody, over to you. Any thoughts, feelings, and then if you could finish us up with Maginim.
Just as I learn the chants, I find at different times during the day, a melody or the words will come in my head, and then I start feeling it in my body again. And it's always, I'm usually like surprised. At the beginning, I would be surprised about it, but now I just really welcome it. And if I can't remember what the meaning is, you can always go to Shefa Gold's website and just, if you remember one of the words, or as Paul is putting the links in the chat, I don't know how you save that actually. Like if I wanted to save those, do I like copy it to a clipboard or whatever, but we can figure out. Unmute, Paul.
Sorry, you can save the chat and I will save it, and we can send that out to, I don't know. We don't have everyone's contact, so we'll figure that out after. Yeah,
so then over time, you build up this like medicine bag of these chants. Or if you have, you go to her website and you have something in your heart or something that's weighing on you and you want to uplift yourself or heal that aspect, you can even in the search type in like anxiety, or type in, whatever, or some part of one of the Psalms or something that speaks to you, and just play on it. And you can, she's got a little link, you can play the melody and everything else. So that's just another little aside. So then it just becomes another tool in your healing and in just uplifting yourself, because like the chant and the music goes from your head into your heart. And then you're not like thinking, you're beyond thinking, which is good these days. Okay, I'm gonna end up with Magini Al Elohim. My protection is all about the God field. That's what saves the upright heart. And it's in the chat. If you go to the chat and scroll back down,
So it is 11, so if people have to,
Oh,
feel free to go.
I'll
Go.
do it once. I have a couple more minutes. I'm looking at,
Oh,
I was looking at the wrong thing. I'll do it once.
May Benatar? Someone wants,
Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisraelev, Moshiach Yisraelev,
Magini.
Magini al Elohim, Magini al Elohim, Moshiach Yisraelev, Moshiach Yisraelev. Happy birthday, Mindy.
have a-
Bless
you,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
bye, everybody.
We'll be back next Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp.
Same channel, same
Thank
time.
you. Bye, and thank you.
I blew out the candle.
Okay. Many more.